Hello everybody, welcome back to Factorio. This is Factorio episode 60, and I think one of the last episodes, if not the last episode. We are already nearing the halfway point of 500,000, which really, at this point, having maximized builds and everything like that, it is very simple what needs to be done. Just more builds. I am getting my mining productivity up more and more and more just because, why not? I feel like it makes sense to. Every once in a while, I'll try to do some other upgrades, but I can continue working on this world and this world alone, and this series will probably dwindle. I probably won't have a weekly upload. There's another way I could do this. I could start a new world. From there, I'll be able to kind of have a little bit of a freshness. The knowledge that I have now applied to a new world would be beneficial. One of the last things I want to do, if I am to really increase my science speed, my productivity, and all that, I need more Prometheum science. These are pretty small freighters. I say they're small. They're not small, but they're not big either. They're not, like, I see a lot of freighters. They basically take up this whole map. I have Prometheum science stored in here, as you can see. Research productivity. Let's go to 45. Yeah, we have 734 legendary thrusters. I'm pretty sure that's plenty. 522 legendary, basically legendary products. I have 589 legendary exoskeletons. I think it's time, because of all the legendary materials I have, to go ahead and work on ultimate platforms. And what I mean by that is maybe a whole fleet. So the very first thing we need to do with our new space platform, as always, the wider the ship, the better off you'll be able to collect asteroids. So that is how we're going to do this. We're gonna have to wait for this to all come up into space. We have our standard setup of 2 reactors to 8 generators. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put the power up in front. The main reason I'm doing that is because the collection system is going to be back here, and this is the slow part. This will always be the slow part of building a space platform, is just waiting on all the materials to come up here. And once they come up here and once we get power, it'll be a little bit more neat. Okay, so while I don't have everything set up yet, I have my collectors and I have my railguns, and that is going to be set up as soon as I can. What I need to do is I need to have a setup system here, and technically this is what I have on my previous Prometheum scavengers, but this is going to be more so my Prometheum frigate. Alrighty, so I now have 2 bits of production for my ammunition, at least for the explosive rockets. This is probably not going to be enough. Technically speaking, I think it is, but I do have a problem of I now have an overproduction of resources. So I should probably consider the fact that this is just a temporary build, but I have a lot of space to work with. Those explosives can also go into making myself the railgun ammo. I have this little sushi belt, if you will, of asteroids, and it could be that maybe what I do is I have the daisy chain of ammo go throughout all of these, but maybe, as I've said before, perhaps I have multiple daisy chains. If I need to, I can move this setup a little bit further north. Well, I am officially going down on my production science. As you can see, it is going down the list. While I'm trying to make my platform for Prometheum science, I should also consider, finally, my science on Vulcanus. It's funny, I've mentioned this a couple episodes ago, but now it's officially at the point where we're going to start seeing my science go down a little bit. But right now, we're just 12,000 below 500,000. We take a look at my chemical science. It technically is dwindling. Even though I worked on it last episode, it is still kind of going down a little bit. Yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Not gonna lie, not too happy about that. First things first, I need to get my legendary electric furnaces over here so I can make faster bricks and just get a whole lot of stone. So while I'm not actually on Vulcanus, I can go ahead and just plan everything here. I already have myself the 4 ovens or electric furnaces. I just call them ovens because they kind of remind me of ovens. Our productivity modules, tier 1, I've already made them, but unfortunately, yeah, I've hit a little bit of a bottleneck. The last thing I need to do is get the rails set up, which is going to be fun because each rail requires 172 stone. Now, The highest amount of stone production I can get from any of these machines appears to be 396 for the... Wait, hang on. I think for the copper, it's different. Oh, okay. I think I've just found something that I just realized. I can produce more stone. Produce 15 stone for the iron. Or, no, 15 stone for the copper, but only 10 stone for the iron. Now, here's the thing. Trying to get all this to work to where I'm not worried about... All right. Hold on. So we'd have to either use that molten copper or get rid of that molten copper. You can void fluids out, I believe. Didn't even think about this. I can void fluids out. That being said, I'd have to void them out very, very, very quickly. I'd have to have like multiple machines do that. So it turns out that I've been doing stone production on Vulcanus wrong. As you can see, I am consistently using all of the steel and just immediately burning it. But the reality is I don't even need to do that. I could just void the fluids. Now I do need a lot of pumps and all these are legendary. But basically the fluid gets voided and as you can see it builds up still. Alright, so after a long time of trying to figure out the best way to go about making this setup, I think I have finally come up with it. Okay, we're already getting a whole bunch of science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and combine all these. Yeah, we have our science basically just filling up right here. You see it right here. This is how, I mean, it's quick. It's less than a second to fill up on 500 molten copper. And are you, no, what? Stop. Okay, hang on. Find all the biters around my base now. Where'd they go? I'm sure there's some more. Where? Is that one? That's one. You leave that train alone. Regardless, I am having a better production of production science on Vulcanus, which is what my main goal was to do. Let's see what my research is at now, because I haven't researched anything in a minute. 601,000 science per minute. I have hit the halfway point. Let me know, y'all. Is production science an issue for y'all? Because you have to use a ton of stone. And getting stone on Vulcanus, you would think, hey, it's kind of unlimited. And in a way, it is. Problem is, output's still full with all of these trying to void the molten copper. I've been trying to get this to work all day. I'd like to do a little bit more this episode, but I'm out of time because this episode is going to air in 2 days, and I have to edit this still. And so I hope y'all enjoyed this small episode. It's John with Glass Piece Games. I'll see y'all next time.